So good morning and excited to get started. Thanks for joining from many different places. I love to see people register from, it looks like someone registered from France, which is really fun for me. Uh, Canada, the States, and quite possibly other places. And I just don't know where you've registered from or where you're joining from. Today, we're diving into planning for prosperity. It's that time of year where a lot of us are thinking about what we want our new year to look like. And in my opinion, one of the reasons that I don't slow down is because I love adventure. I love a fun, fast-paced life. And I love that busy feeling. It can even be addictive, which is why some of you might be similar to me and have a hard time planning, prioritizing time for planning. So today is going to be your luxurious excuse to set aside time for yourself to be able to map out what you want the new year to look like in all areas. So before I get started and dive into my teaching, I wanted to let you know a bit of what I will be sharing, some of the research and insights from my book, From Burnout to Bliss. It's the 21-day plan to boost health, wealth, and happiness. And if you don't have it, I'll be sharing some of my teaching points today, and it would be a really great investment for yourself over Christmas or for a friend for a stocking. So my background, I started working as a coach and a consultant for healthcare leaders and for business owners and business leaders because I saw a real problem, in my opinion, that was hurting a lot of people. And that's when leaders get so busy and it's motivated from a good place, caring, right? A lot of leaders are really caring. And when we love our work, we can even do too much of good work, right? Can anyone else relate? I can definitely relate. I can love my work so much or be so considerate of others that I can get engulfed by it and sometimes feel like I'm drowning underneath it and like I'm a victim and I'm powerless to change my life. So I started seeing that reoccurring habit of work, 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 crash, work, 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 hit a wall. And it really bothered me in friends' lives, in the lives of leaders that I was coaching and helping one-to-one or from the stage if they were audience members. And it bothered me so much that I wrote this book and I started offering my services more specifically to these people groups because I wanted to be able to be an instrument of in their lives where they could access tools and resources and get their joy back, be able to accomplish really meaningful, fulfilling things in their career lives, in their careers, and make the contribution that they wanted with their lives without burning out, without sacrificing personal life and health for finances or, family time for finances. And so I wanted to decrease the level of burnout in society and be able to increase prosperity in all areas of life. And as I started writing the book, I realized, okay, I'm writing for myself as well, wouldn't you know? I actually am struggling in these same areas, and I better apply what I'm teaching to my own life, or I can't be the example I want to be for people, and I can't live with integrity. So that's what I'm going to be teaching you on today is what holds us back from prosperity in all areas of our lives, and how can you start putting a plan of action together so that no matter what's happening in your external environment, you're taking control of what is in your control, and you're learning how to let go of control. This is a big one. And you're learning how to let go of control and surrender the things that are out of your control. So, what are the things that hold us back from creating prosperity? From my personal experience and from coaching clients for the last decade, I've come to the conclusion that the number one reason why we're not as prosperous financially in our relationships, our family, our friendships, the number one reason why we struggle to create the joyful health and finances in our lives that we want, which is very individual, is that we're too busy. Busyness is the number one problem that holds us back. When we don't slow down, one, we can't be self-aware. We miss opportunities. Our brains and bodies are too stressed to access creative solutions that are right in front of our eyes that would help us change our lives and better the lives of the people around us. So busyness is the number one problem. And then I would say that lack of ability to dream big. So thinking small and dreaming small is the second problem that holds us back from prosperity in all areas of our lives. And that happens, again, because of lack of self-awareness due to busyness, and also due to fears. If your rational brain is running your life right now, running the show, then you're not accessing insights from that are heart-centered insights or from spirit. So when we're not dreaming big enough, it's usually because critical thoughts, doubtful thoughts, anxious thoughts are running your life instead of you mastering your thoughts and dictating how you will think and how you will act and how much you get to enjoy your life, period. It also impacts the risks, those critical and doubtful thoughts, those anxious thoughts that cause stress. They limit your ability to take risks, right? And they cause you to focus more on pleasing others. This is the last problem that gets in the way of creating a prosperous life, is people pleasing. It puts all of our attention on keeping other people happy, and then we get out of balance and we don't consider our own needs, and we're just running on fumes. Always wearing a mask, trying to look good in front of others when really we're unhappy inside, tolerating a life that we're not really happy with, and saying that we're comfortable, when really we've just gotten comfortable with being uncomfortable. So I'd love for you to put in the chat where you're joining from if you didn't join at the beginning, and maybe how we met and what you'd really like to get out of today and moving forward. You know, today we only have 60 minutes together, and I'm just about to hop into an exercise that I'd like you to do that will help you start planning for this new year. But before I hop into sharing some more key points, what I want to offer you is that you reach out to me right away, even today, if you know that you want more support in this area of planning. You want more support with me one-to-one, or you want to find out about my group program I'm offering starting in January. I have a limited number of clients that I take on, and I have 2 spaces available right now. So if you know that you want more strategic support with me, I'd be happy to talk with you and make time this week or next, depending on my ability to manage the intake of people who contact me. And I'd love to help you. So here are the first key points that I'd like to give you as a framework to create structure for this new year. Remember, as you do some creative writing today, that if you give yourself permission to become wealthier in any area of your life. It doesn't have to be finances, but it might be finances. So if you want to give yourself permission to be wealthier financially, wealthier in time for yourself, wealthier in your spiritual connection, it first comes by you being okay with it. In business, we say the first sale is to yourself. So you need to be sold on why it's okay to make time for yourself, to give yourself permission to be wealthier. You need to approve of who you're becoming and the lifestyle you're giving yourself permission to enjoy before you'll let yourself have it. Otherwise, you'll think it's bad. You know, we talked about those critical thoughts, and I'm going to give you a framework today for releasing old stories and beliefs and being able to change neural pathways so that your thought patterns support your habits. If you don't change your thought patterns, you can't put a band-aid solution on your life and just ask me to help you change your habits. I won't do that because they won't stick. I'm in it to help people create lasting changes, not changes just for this week or this month. That wouldn't be fair. So give yourself permission, and we want to create an environment right now that starts to foster growth so that you don't have to wait for some time in the future to be able to enjoy the life that you want now. Let's speed up your dreams so that they can become your reality right now. So let me ask you some questions, and I'm going to ask you to answer them as much as possible in the chat so that I can be a part of the conversation. We get out of touch with what we want. This is the first question. What do you want? We get out of touch with what we want because we're so outward focused, so other focused. Remember how I was talking about the problem of people pleasing being a major obstacle holding you back from a more prosperous life. Now is your opportunity, whether you're in Pacific time and it's really early in the morning, or whether you're Eastern time, or maybe you're in the UK and it's evening. This is your quiet time, and I will stop talking soon, for you to answer these questions and get in touch with yourself. So I want you to create a few categories for yourself instead of a broad, what do I want right now? Number one, I want you to ask yourself, is there one top area where I feel like something's missing and I want more in that category of my life, that box? Is it finances? What is the top area that you're craving more of right now? And maybe there's two. They're like twins and they're equally important. That's okay. Maybe put that in the chat. If you want to be brave today in this safe space that we have together, share with me what you feel is the top area that you want more of in that area. Might be family, might be faith, might be revenue, it might be personal happiness, might be your health, might be your work environment. Great to see you, Tanya. Glad you're enjoying this already. South Dakota, love it. We've got South Dakota, Boston, British Columbia. So pop in the chat. The more engaged and interactive you are in my presentation, this workshop will serve you, because we know that experiential learning is one of the best ways to learn. And also voicing what you want with others is a great accountability piece. And there's nothing to be ashamed of or embarrassed about what you want, because wanting more is a sign that you're human. Think of today as an opportunity to test drive what it's like to have me on your shoulder or in your back pocket. That's what it's like when I coach clients privately. They have access to all of my tools, all of my resources, and then my insight spiritually as well as practically hands on strategies. So, Melanie says that it's always finances and doing more of what she loves, financial freedom. Yeah, I was talking with a client just yesterday, and she was saying she has a massive should do list and have to do list, but her want to do list never gets attention. So we're starting to look at why that is, what's holding her back from prioritizing those wants. Chrissy says fitness, finances, and boundaries. Awesome. Thanks for sharing, ladies. Financial stability, Tanya says, and a career that feels flourishing and valuable. I hear ya, Tanya. Just love having that combination is such a beautiful gift. And I'm thankful that you're all here. So when you get clear on what you want, later, I want you to dive deeper and I want you to ask yourself specifically, what does fitness look like to me? What does financial stability look like to me? Like, what kind of revenue would I be bringing in? How often, like, what do I need in order for my professional life to feel flourishing and valuable? How would I be helping patients or clients or customers in a more valuable way for me to feel like I'm really doing that? I'm offering that. How much income would make you feel stable and free? So Daria, Tanya, Melanie, Donna, ask yourself these questions and get more clear, because the more clear you are, then you can acknowledge yourself along the path to creating that. And you have a clear target. Here's the second question for you. What's the biggest impact related to that goal or that dream that you could have? So for example, what am I already doing that I could build off of? So maybe you have some good habits in those areas already, but what's your bigger dream? Like, I want you to pretend that you don't have to think about anything else today, because you don't right now, right? You don't have to think about anything else right now. And I want you to dream bigger. So please do not give fear or criticism or self-doubt the opportunity to rule your dreaming right now. If a fear or a doubt comes up, you can write it down on the paper. That really helps me. Just write it down on some other side, like I won't be able to this, or I can't do that, or I have to wait until this someday when it's better timing. I need all my ducks in a row. The truth of the matter is, those fears and doubts can sit on the sidelines for right now. They stop you from dreaming bigger. What could be possible next year? Like, what's the biggest impact that you could have in those areas of want? So really, what's possible? What's the big thing that could be possible over the year of 2023 if you let yourself dream bigger and you didn't think about the how right now? You didn't let your rational brain lead right now. Who wants to pop that in the chat so that we can see? If you dreamt bigger, what would be possible? That helped me come up with a really exciting dream for 2023 for myself and my business, about how I could serve people and offer more value. Like you were saying, Tanya, how I can create a business and a service that adds even more value so people get even better results, and how I can have fun doing it. I couldn't dream that big until I gave myself space to dream that big. So I'm going to be silent and let you have, say, 30 seconds just to tap into that and dream bigger. Fabulous dream, Melanie. And remember, don't compare to anyone else's dreams that you see in the chat or that you hear in your family or your personal life or work life. Remember that everyone's dreams are very personal, and what makes you happy is very, very personal. So it can be very draining and frustrating and anxiety inducing for you to try and live someone else's dream. Remember, you want to get clear on what your dream is so that Christy can fully enjoy life, so that Daria can fully enjoy her life. It's a personal dream, you guys. So we need to hush the noises of society, block them from impacting our joy, right? Tanya, if I dreamed bigger, I would launch my lifestyle blog. Stop being afraid of everything, every new thing I need to know to maintain a successful lifestyle brand. Awesome, Tanya. One thing that has helped me in that area is doing it my way, giving myself permission to create visibility, offer value, create services, programs, products that are done in my way instead of trying to fit into someone else's mold. And then also getting the support that I need to learn things that aren't my strengths so that I'm not trying to do everything. Oh my goodness, put your hand up in the chat or put like a little star or a happy face if you have been caught in the trap of trying to do everything yourself. Usually I attract people who need to learn what I've learned or what I'm currently learning. And that's the thing about being a leader is we share what we're learning, what we've learned a long time ago, or what we're currently learning. Yes. If we try and do everything ourselves, do you know how tired we'll get? It's just not sustainable. Whether you're a doctor, whether you are a business leader, whether you are a community leader, you need to lean on others for support. And that is one of the keys to expediting these dreams. So I want you, I'm going to leave you with a few questions, but I'm also going to get you to fill out this one question while we're on the call together. And that's what's most exciting about this idea or this dream. I remember I was talking to a family doctor in Regina. I was coaching, and she felt uncomfortable when we started working together because she said, I feel like you work with people who have such big dreams and my dreams don't seem big to me at all. Is that okay? And I giggled and I said, of course it's okay. Everyone's dreams are unique. Everyone's dreams are particular to them. And her dreams were to be able to work less so that she could have more balance, more time for herself, and be able to find someone that she could share life with and manage her stress levels better. And those three goals she felt incapable of accomplishing them, and she felt almost ashamed that they were small compared to other people that I work with who maybe she thought their dreams were like they want to change the world, right? We all have our own personal dreams, and your dreams are perfect for you. and you're worthy of your dreams, and you are capable of creating that dream life. And I can show you how, and I'd be happy to have a conversation with you about it. So Tanya says, what's most exciting about a lifestyle brand? She'd get to use her creative talents. She'd get to have fun with her work. Yes. Now, thank you for sharing, Tanya. This whole idea of tapping into excitement is one of the keys that clients have access to when they work with me. I am so done with boring. Boring zaps my energy. How about you? So what is important is that we understand what's exciting about our dream, because it fuels and motivates our actions, because sometimes we don't feel like doing the thing that's required for us to be able to live this dream life, to create the prosperity that you want in 2023. Even before 2023, so much can change in the next couple weeks. But you need to be excited about the dream and the goal, and you need to switch your perspective about it so that you're fueled up, you're energized, and you'll do whatever is necessary to create that life, because you know in your bones that it's worth it. So I want to share two keys with you, and I'm going to share my whiteboard with you very soon to demonstrate something. But for example, if your goal is, let's say, better boundaries or more personal happiness or better health, then I would encourage you to focus on developing your sense of worthiness, and that you matter and you are just as important as the people in your personal life, like the people who you, like your family members and your friends and your team that you work with and the leaders on your team. Just saying goodbye to my son, leaving for school. That worthiness piece is really important, and I can help you change how you're thinking about yourself. Otherwise, you won't let yourself create those new habits. And the second piece that is key, if your goal includes health, happiness, time for personal dreams, is focusing on how your new life and your new habits will benefit all the people around you. Because what I've seen in my own life as well as in clients' lives is you can feel selfish for creating more time for yourself, for prioritizing your own health, for letting yourself have time off, for giving yourself even permission to do things like this, like plan when you feel like it's not a productive use of your time. Flip the switch and remind yourself of all of the ways that other people will benefit financially, how your relationships will improve, all the different ways. And that will help you motivate yourself to prioritize yourself and give yourself permission to become this new, happier version of yourself, more energized and joyful. Two keys if your goal is finances. Focus on the service and the solution, the person who you're providing solutions for, over your money goals. This will always result in increased finances when your focus is on service and how you can be of value to the people around you. Like pretend like they're siblings in this big family that you love and you care deeply for, and you will go out of your way for them, not sacrificing your own health in the pursuit of that. But if you focus on being obsessively consumed with the needs of others in that you want to help, money will always flow in. Keep that your focus. And again, same as if health and happiness are your goal and you want to be more prosperous personally, if your focus is on finances, you also need to feel worthy and okay of earning more money or a lot more money than you're currently earning, and maintaining that income level Otherwise, it will be like trying to pour water into a glass that's this big when you're wanting to fill a glass twice this size. It'll just keep pouring out of your life, and you'll wonder why you can't make that money or you can't sustain that level of income. It's because of an old money mindset. I'll talk a little bit more about that. So, any questions that are coming up, I would love to see. Melanie, you say, what's most exciting for me is that I'd be helping people find their faith, helping people in the community, serving people's needs, teaching what you're excited about, partnering with like-minded people. Yeah, awesome. I can tell you're working yourself up into like working the fire up, stoking the flames, which is great. So let me share with you from chapter 17 a little, just a snippet on money mindset from my book. Your subconscious mind may be storing limited judgmental beliefs about money or people who have money. And you can apply this if your goal isn't money today, you can apply this to your personal life as well. Like old records playing in your mind, so are your unconscious thoughts. They actually run the show and we're not aware of them. They create neurological grooves every time you think of them. Those thought patterns create feelings, which create your actions. Remember, this is easy to remember, that input equals output. So you better make sure that what's going in is what will create what you want to come out and to be produced in your life. You can see how getting off that groove to develop a new thought habit takes intention and practice. So what we're talking about today will require your involvement, and also will require belief or faith in that you have support in achieving these goals. It's not all up to you, which is quite a relief. You have to be involved in the process, but there are external things supporting you that we can't quite put our finger on. So let me share my screen with you and illustrate a point here. So let me know, maybe you can put your hand up if you can see this, because I want to make sure you can see this. And let me share with you. So if you're thinking, Amy, I need to, oops, where's I want this line. Okay, here we go. So this is your life right now. And this is where you're at right now, at the beginning of the line. And in 3 years' time, in 3 years' time, you are going to either be up here on this middle line or down here. Now, the top line represents your ideal goal for 2023. And then down here represents an okay version of your life. And down here is like the poor version, I really don't want to get there version of your life. And if you think about it, there's naturally in life, what happens is drift over time. So if you apply the mindset, new ways of thinking about what's possible in 2023, and you apply a more successful strategy and you get the support that you need, then you're going to be able to create this ideal life. But if you are not intentional, you start to drift. Maybe you go through 2023 and your life is okay, but really you're not making any big changes. You're not taking any big risks. You're staying in your comfort zone. You're trying to stay safe instead of being intentional about growth. You might end up in this okay department, But you also might end up in the poor category, poor financially, poor in spirit, poor in relationships, poor in health, and we don't want to go there. So, in order for you to not drift, you need to make intentional decisions. You need to develop that mindset that we've been talking about, and a winning strategy, a successful strategy. It's helpful to see this kind of visual because it's a good reminder that we need to be involved in the creation of miracles. We can't wait for them to land at our door. And I don't know about some of you, but I have experienced where some miracles have just happened for me. But usually we're asked to be a part of the miracle creation process. We are powerful, we are capable, and we are supported. So we really can do anything. And it starts with thinking about yourself differently and thinking about what's possible differently, dreaming bigger, and giving yourself space to plan and create that strategy. So let me stop sharing my screen. I'd like to open up, I'd like to open this up for us to see each other now, if you're willing to do that, so that we can get into strategizing time with our last 15 minutes. So if you're willing to share your screen, you don't need to look incredible. This is earlier in the morning, but it helps us all connect. And let's get in action. So the first step to getting in action is to create a new identity as your foundation. Hi, ladies. So the new foundation is your identity. For example, do I have the book here? No, upstairs, I have this book and it's called Anti-Time Management by Richie Norton. Fabulous book. And in it, he talks about this rapper. And she woke up one day after a horrible life. At age 17, she woke up with this voice in her head saying, "This is not the life you're supposed to live. You need to make a decision to change. You're supposed to be a rapper." And okay, long story short, she ended up following the voice, getting clean off drugs and alcohol, off the streets, and she became a Grammy-winning rapper. And her key that she implemented first and foremost was changing her identity. Instead of "I'm a nobody," "I'm powerless," "I'm a victim," "I'm unworthy," "I'm lazy," "I'm not successful," she decided to believe, no, I might not look like it, I might not feel like I know what I'm doing, but I'm a rapper. I'm a rapper now. So ask yourself, what would you need to believe you are already today without anything changing that you can see in your physical world? Don't look at your physical world for proof of who you are inside. We need to partner with the divine. We need to partner with something bigger than ourselves to believe that we are who we are, or who you want to be. If it just feels like Amy is talking fluff right now, and I don't see that I'm wealthy and I'm prosperous, I don't see that in my life yet. Well, remember, input equals output. We change our external environment by changing our internal environment first. So your identity is the first step to your action plan. And then you start to live from what kind of feelings does that bring up? Well, it brings up feelings of security for me. I feel calm already, deciding that I'm that person now, instead of I have to wait to be her. Guys, this is exciting. This is where you are create a time warp instead of like, at the end of 2023, I will be making this amount of money and I will be this type of person and have this fitness level. No, this is the time warp cool stuff where you start acting like her now. You let yourself feel that good before you see the results. And it changes how you show up in the world, how magnetic you become to the right people who will support you in this journey. Those people can't find you unless you start acting like a rapper now, unless you start acting healthy now, unless you start acting fun, unless you start acting like a fun person, like unless you start acting calm now. Then the right people will show up in your life who are supposed to be a part of your dream and will make it easier for you. But if you're acting from this place of neediness and desperation, and I have to change, and I don't have what it takes, but I have that goal, you give off a way different energy and vibe. You already have everything you need inside yourself to create the goal, to create the dream that you have. So believe that you already have it before you see it, and you'll frickin' create it. It's super fun. And it's also work, and it takes practice. So that's the first step, identity. Second step is to get out of your head and into action. So we know that problems aren't solved by thinking about them forever, right? We have to get our feet moving, and the key is to move forward before the bridge appears. Yeah, it's uncomfortable. And yes, it takes faith. And yes, it takes bigger belief than you might think you have. All I'm asking is that you use the belief right now. So if you're applying it to your financial life and you want to create prosperity financially in 2023, use the little belief you have in yourself and the stories about what has been possible in the past to bolster your belief so that you take action before you have all your ducks in a row. So that you do it dirty, so that you do it imperfectly, but you're doing it. At least you're doing it. We have to move forward that way. And then, for example, I forget this woman's name, but the rapper I've been talking about, she went out and she practiced rapping as a young white girl in, I think it was New York, and found a stage where she could rap, and she rapped really poorly, and she got booed off the stage, and she did it every Thursday until one point the really good guys who couldn't handle it any longer took her under their wing, took her off the street, got her a home, and that's what started her career, because she was willing to show up, be seen as, not that great at it, but she was just decided, I'm a rapper. I'm going to get in the game. I'm going to learn this business. I'm going to learn what it takes. And then she placed herself in an environment. She created that environment of learning and exposure to the right people, right? It's just really cool. We have to get in the game and out of our heads. We have to move forward before the bridge appears. And it's a scary way of living, and it's the funnest way of living. It's the most gratifying way of living. And we need to do it in community. I need to do it in community. I'm not sure about you, if you can work in a silo and be really effective, but I doubt it. We need the support, and we need to be able to lean on others' belief in us sometimes. And we need to borrow their map of how they've done it in order to expedite our own happiness. That's one of the things that my clients have access to when I'm working with them. So what would it look like if you were a part of your own miracle and you believed you already were the person you want to be? Put it in the chat. What's one creative thought that just popped up, like, well, if I was acting like I was that person already, then obviously my first step, if I was getting out of my head and into my action shoes, my first step would probably be to start with X. What's the creative idea or possible solution? First step, just one grain of sand, moving one grain of sand today. What do you think that might be that you could play with today? Mm. So then you might ask yourself, Christy says, honestly, as simple as bouncing out of bed in the morning, excited to start the day. Sometimes, not sometimes, a lot of the time, I have to engineer my own joy. And so to create excitement, I need to rev up my engine and sometimes not even wait for that excitement or that joy to do the action, to motivate the action. It's like, I'm choosing to be excited. and then doing something that I know will make me excited is not always preceded by joy. Tanya, I have a list of creative ideas, fun things that you could begin sharing on Instagram. Fun for you? Yeah, so good. Start with you. Start with what is fun for you and hopefully inspire others. Engineering your own joy. Yeah. So I'm going to ask you to unmute. And what I want to share with you is what the roadmap that I take clients through. And I want to see if you have any questions. And if you have them, just feel free to speak up. So there's always so many things on the screen. So this is the roadmap that I take clients through, and I'm going to walk you quickly through the first 5 steps. But what I would like to do with each of you, if maybe you're joining and you want to gobble up all of my free resources, that is totally fine. But I know some of you want to be able to save time and you want to decrease stress faster and you want to be able to increase finances and make them stay that way. So private coaching might be for you if you want that route. And if not, what's really helpful is if you share my information and you invite people to join calls like this. That's really helpful for my business. So clarity is the first step that I walk clients through. I help them create a full-bodied plan of what they want, because we need to get it on paper. We need to see what we really want instead of what we think we want, because that's what our parents told us is important. That's what society said should make you happy. No, we create a you plan specific to your own happiness that would bring you fulfillment. And then step 2, the creation mode, is helping you build that new identity so that you're operating from a place of calmness, confidence, and security. You're filled with joy and energy and focus, helping you re-engineer your thoughts and shift old stories you've been telling yourself so that even before you see external things change and results change in your life, you're feeling better because you're taking control of your thoughts and you're not letting them master you. You're mastering them. Third area that I walk you through is I help you activate new habits in alignment with those new beliefs so that you can create the outcome that you want, right? So that either, like some of my clients, I've helped them create new arms of business. I've helped them get paid more in their current roles. I've helped them attend further education and take financial risks in order to fulfill heart's desires. So it might not be that they want to increase their finances, but they want to totally take a leap of faith to do with their career. And it requires a new set of beliefs and new habits. That's part of the activation process. And a second part of the activation process that is near and dear and highly valuable to you creating a prosperous new year is creating healthy boundaries that support your habits so that you're not feeling drained. You're not giving away to people that maybe even people and activities that you love, but you've been overcommitting to out of duty and this sense of obligation, like you're a bad person if you don't. I help you set boundaries so that you feel less guilty. You don't feel selfish anymore, but you feel good about what your limits are. And really, truthfully, you guys, it helps you strengthen your relationships and it helps you be treated with more respect. The fourth area is communication, another aspect, another tool set that is crucial in life and vitally important to your success is communication. So I love sharing my skills and tools with clients about how to be direct, how to be clear, how to be kind while you're speaking up, how to share your ideas with confidence instead of feeling like you're bragging. How to be able to put a plan together so that you can get your business idea out into the world and for it to be received in such a way that people are hungry for your solutions and easily purchase from you. So communication is key to being able to be happy in your love life. It's key to being able to feel like you're a great person. It's key to being able to set your boundaries with confidence. You still need to be able to figure out strategies to be able to communicate your boundaries, let alone be clear on what you want your boundaries to be, right? So when you don't speak up and you muffle your voice, what happens is you can become resentful, you can become angry towards the people around you and settle for unhappiness when you could be living a more prosperous, more fun life. Communication is key. I could go on about it if you haven't noticed. And then the last level is expansion. And this is helping those of you who want to help people in a more meaningful way be seen in the world so that people can actually access you. And part of the way that I do that is helping people who are interested in this aspect of creating your own intellectual property so that you're treated as an authority, seen as an authority, you have more clout. You're viewed with, again, more, you're seen as the expert in your field, and you have your own unique process and you stand out. That's part of the expansion process. So we put together a plan for you to do that and a plan for you to market yourself and reach your ideal people. And yes, it takes work, and yes, it's worth it. So if you'd like help in this 5-step process, I'd be more than happy to book a call to speak with you. And I can talk with you about the options that I have to work together with you privately as well as in my group program. So the shortest amount of time that people stay in my group program is 3 months. And it's my inner circle. So Amy's inner circle is weekly calls. Same with private coaching. Private coaching is weekly calls, but you have me in your back pocket. So you can email and text me anytime within my business working hours. And you have my direct attention and support in all of my strategies and tools that I share in my group program. This January, I'm opening up registration. Well, registration's open now, but I'm starting the program in January, and we'll have weekly calls. And the focus is on helping you in these areas that I showed you on the roadmap. So it's creating a prosperous 2023 with me by your side, where you're going to have access to resources that I'm creating for my self-learning program. You'll have that self-learning program that includes multiple videos, worksheets, questionnaires to walk through and equip you with the skills to be able to set those boundaries to achieve prosperity. communicate more effectively so that you feel proud about yourself, about how you communicated. Even though you didn't want to face the conflict, you learned how to face conflict and handle people being upset with you. We're going to cover all aspects of how to communicate courageously, and also how to create that plan of action for you to monetize your skill set and, you know, that mission in your heart that many of you shared. How do you make money at it? We're going to be talking about how to do that as well. And that'll be a part of the self-learning program. So you'll have access forever to the self-learning program. And then you'll have the weekly calls with me. And if you'd like to add on a private session with me per month, or maybe more than one per month, you're welcome to do that as well. And that's an add-on pricing. But I have fast action pricing for both the private work with me and the group work. So if you know you want to book out some time for you and I to talk, then I'm more than happy to make time for you. Just let me know soon, because Christmas is coming up and things are getting quite busy in my schedule. And I want to make sure that I have time for you before the new year and you can hear all of the details. So I believe I'll have a way of contacting me, but best to email me. So I'll just put my email. And if you know of someone else who would like to hear about my group program, or how I can come in and speak for an organization that you're a part of, in the new year, I am going to be doing a fair amount of traveling around to be able to equip people with these type of skills in person or online. So let me know if you have ideas that you'd like to talk about. I'm open ears for that. We have a few minutes before I have to go. If you can stay, you're welcome to. If you have to go, I understand, no problem. I'm so happy that you signed up for today and you made the time for yourself. And I feel honored that you made the time for me. And I'd love to hear something that was most valuable for you, or if you have a question.
And I have to go, but you are the second person in 2 days to say you have to start acting like who you want to be before you get there. So obviously that's a message I needed hearing. So thank you for that. And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
All right, have a great day.
You too. Thanks for sharing. Bye. Yeah, it's key, right? Acting like we want to be before we get there. Like who we want to be.
I think for me, I thought my biggest takeaway was going to be training for a half Ironman, which I am going to. But I think my biggest takeaway is that I am a leader. Always, everywhere, doesn't matter what role I take. That is how I show up, and that is how people respond to me. And I just need to accept that, be okay with it, and expand that influence everywhere I go. And I don't need I think I've really been playing small in the workplace, and I think it's because I'm afraid to be accountable in a leadership role for the decisions that I make, because I can always pass the buck to someone else. If I'm acting like a leader but not actually accountable in the role of a leader,
then you have an excuse. Yeah,
exactly. So I'm going to think on that and actually expect more of myself, expect more of my wage, and more of my the people I work for and with. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks for joining. And Melanie had to go there. I've had so much fun, and I'm going to stop recording.